What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal, STEPHIE, the YWC Reality Check. And before I get into anything, I will apologize. My voice is a little fucked up. I've been sick. I've been over there lying down for about 5 days now. I've just started to come back from it. Gotta send a big shout out to STEPHIE Sunshine, who spent most of her weekend calling me, making sure I was alright and not, in fact, dead. Which is great, because she's great, so big shout out for her. Thanks, hon, I really do appreciate it. No Raw review. I watched 90% of Raw last night before I passed out to being sick and such. I'm gonna watch the rest of it. I loved Raw. A lot of comical shit. The minute possibility of Heath Slater being a face now that there's no more 3MB. The whole Stardust thing, it could go somewhere, but for right now I'm rolling my eyes. Roman Reigns going into Money in the Bank, fantastic. Cena going in should have been expected. The development of the all the superstars formerly known as the Shield. Dean Ambrose looking like a boss against Bad News Barrett. The developing feud between Rollins and Ziggler is fantastic. I like Paul Heyman's new thing, my guy's gonna win, and it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. It's all fantastic. There's a quick rundown of everything good that happened on Raw, and that's about it. But this is a sort of a follow-up to last week. What I've gotten from a lot of people, branching out of my, everybody hates me because, I'm not crying over Daniel Bryan, is all the people right now that have totally given up on the product because Daniel Bryan's not there. And one of them, who I'm not going to mention by name because I'm going to be nice about this, called me out in a video, said, fans like me that look for positive shit are what's wrong with wrestling and I should turn in my wrestling fan card and all that shit. And the brunt of that was, why can't you tell me what you like about WWE right now? If it's so good, tell me what you like. What I like is potential. My video last week said, right now there are 5 guys that could step up believably and be the WWE champion, because there isn't one right now, and we have that. That's going to be fixed at Money in the Bank. Now, we don't have the same problem with the Tag Team Championships, but people will say that it is dying. I say no. So once again, I'm here with 5 potential new holders of those belts. This is in no way a dig at the Usos, by the way. It's just one of those, the Usos are having a great run, who's going to do it next type of thing. Now, people that aren't on here, Los Matadors are not on here because they're just not. 3MB is not on here because 3MB is not a thing anymore. Ryback, they could be interim between 2 sets of great champions. I don't see them having a run for a particular long time. And as I say, the whole Goldust and Stardust thing, I'm going to roll my eyes at until people can prove to me that it's going to be great. I don't doubt the ability of Cody Rhodes to take the gimmick and run with it. I just don't know if it's something that should be run with. Oh, excuse me. But what I do have, 5 potential sets of new champions. The reasons why I think they should be champions, or how I think they could become champions. Flexing a little bit of creative muscle, seeing as I'm not doing a proper Raw review. Before I go on, go back to May's Ask the Phoenix Q&A, and if you have questions for the June episode of Ask the Phoenix, toss them in the comment section of that video. Don't message me. I'm not trying to be mean here, but I'm just saying, this is how you get your questions answered. Put them in the comment section of that video. Don't email me, don't Facebook me, don't da-da-da-da-da-da, because I get the questions from that comment section, and if you throw them somewhere else, I might catch them, but I'm scatterbrained, and I may lose them, and you don't want that to happen to your question, so please put them where they're supposed to go. It's not that hard, I promise. 5 potential future sets of tag team champions. Kalisto and El Local from NXT. Now, I know what you're going to say. This is another one of those hotshot them, give them the titles on the first night type things. But the Usos have done some work in NXT, representing WWE as the champions. They could start a friendly rivalry with Kalisto and El Local, who are a lot of fun. Ricardo Rodriguez as a masked luchador is a lot of fun, and Kalisto apparently comes to NXT with a lot of bravado from wherever the hell he's from. I'm not even going to pretend that I know, because I don't. I don't follow the indies, you guys know this, but I know that he's come in with a lot of a lot of backing, a lot of following from people that do follow the indies. And you know what? So far, from what I've seen, it's very deserved. He's very entertaining in the ring, and along with Ricardo, aka El Local, they are quite a great team. And I would love to see them go into a series of matches with the Usos. I think it would be great. Moving on forward from that, the next stage that I would have, being that Rey Mysterio is very limited in his appearances due to his injuries, I would have them have a quick set of matches between El Local and Kalisto and Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. Now that we have a Sin Cara that doesn't botch, we could have a great thing, and we could throw Los Matadors in there. It would be a great way if other bigger, stronger, more built tag teams were having other feuds elsewhere, not around the titles. This could be a cool little thing, because WWE has not acknowledged luchador or masked wrestler heritage in a long time. If you had either a two-way or a three-way feud between these three different masked teams, especially with somebody the history of Rey Mysterio, the Mexican fan following of somebody like Sin Cara, and the general newness of Kalisto and El Local, and whatever you want to do with the El Matadors gimmick. I mean, take El Torito out of it for the time being, let them actually just wrestle, but, side note, is anybody disturbed about all the people that got let go and the fact that El Torito and Hornswoggle still have a job? Just saying. You could have a set of feuds, or a set of triple threat matches, or a set of just great luchador matches that could put focus back on, you know, that luchador-esque heritage, which is something WWE has not done in a long time. It would feel very new, and it would grab the attention of people that have not been exposed to that before. People that weren't around when the WCW Cruiserweight division was around and got the exposure to that luchador style. That way, I think it would be a great thing, and for the younger fans who haven't seen it, it would be great. I'm being repetitive now, but you know, it would come out of the blue. We all see what coming out of the blue and winning a championship did for Paige. You know, despite what a lot of people say, oh, she's got no character, WWE's not developing her character. She's developing her character in the ring. I think El Local and Kalisto could do the same thing with the tag team championships. And they're exciting, and they're fun, and it wouldn't hurt anybody. The Ascension. Speaking of hurting people, the Ascension would have to do it like this. The Ascension would have to walk out on NXT, talk about how they are bored, talk about how they have no more competition on NXT, which is kind of what they're already doing, beat down a couple more thrown together teams, and then call out the Usos on NXT to no answer, to no answer. I would have them then come on to Raw, break through, you know, invade Raw, so to speak, and cost the Usos a match on Raw, repeat their challenge to the Usos on Raw. They could come in believably, because look at the size of these guys and look at their style. They could destroy the Usos. And again, I'm going to make the Paige comparison. They could either dominate and look very dominant, carrying both sets of tag team championships, or they could be stripped and, you know, have a new championship holder found on NXT like they did with the NXT Women's title. And they could still walk away saying, yeah, nobody beat us for those, you made us give them up. Let's, you know, let's take these titles and show people on Raw how it's done type thing. And they would steamroll everybody. They would steamroll everybody. They would steamroll the thrown together teams like, I don't know, Sin Cara and Kofi Kingston. They would steamroll over Truth and Woods. They would steamroll over the Matadors. You know, throw Heath Slater with somebody, Zack Ryder, whatever, let them steamroll them, move their way up a little bit, and eventually what I've called the Battle of the Bulls would happen, which would be the Ascension versus the Wyatt family. And that would be a tag team championship match for SummerSlam if built properly. That would be for the Survivor Series if built properly. That could be on Mania if you built it properly. And I'm going to make a large statement that not a lot of people are going to agree with. Ascension could be the Undertaker of the tag team division, where it's just like, yeah, people will go in, people will compete with them, and people will compete valiantly against them, but there will always be that not quite scared, definitely a little scared, definitely very respectful of the fact that these guys can fucking destroy you element. I think it would be great. Again, it runs the risk of having that, oh man, you know, you shouldn't be walking in and being handed a belt, which I agree with, but these guys, from what I've seen on NXT, which isn't even as much as what a lot of other people have seen who are on board with them, I would forgive it. I would give it a chance. it would be their ball to drop, of course. The same with Kalisto and El Local. But these are guys that I would be willing to break that hesitation for and let them burst onto the scene in a big way. Okay, those are the only people from NXT I'm going to mention. The next team that I'm going to bring up that should be the tag team champions, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. Now, there's no real reason. There's nothing really to tie the Triple H followers, I guess you could say, to the Usos. There's no real reason for them to be mad yet. But much like with Money in the Bank, where Randy Orton was just placed in Money in the Bank because... placed in a championship situation because... Triple H could easily come in and say, guess what, Usos? These guys are challenging you for the titles. Because. Get a crooked referee, get some messed up rules, get some cheating that doesn't necessarily get recognized or acknowledged, and you have new champions. Rollins can come out, Rollins and Orton can cut a dual-purpose promo once they win the belts. Rollins can cut a promo on Roman Reigns talking about how he carried the Shield tag team when they were the tag team champions, and Orton can blame Batista for their one unsuccessful attempt at the tag team championships. So you would burn Roman Reigns, which would build that story. You would burn Batista, who's now gone, which is great. Stephanie can link the Authority's backlash to the Usos roughly with, hey, the Usos are friends with John Cena. John Cena disrespected me a couple weeks ago. Hey, let's go get him. Let's hurt John Cena by hurting his friends. And it's not like the Authority hasn't pulled those things before. The obvious tag team rivalry that would ensue would be Rollins and Orton versus Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. And that, let's be honest, would be fantastic. Bringing me to the remnants of the Shield, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, they could go either in an aggressive way or in a respectful way to the Usos and say, look, man, we want a chance at your tag team championships. We want to basically shove some more gold in Triple H's face. Roman Reigns can cut the same promo as I mentioned with Seth Rollins a moment ago. He was the one that carried that tag team championship team. They could throw it in Triple H's face. Look, we have gold. You can throw it in Triple H and the Authority's face. Look, you thought you broke us. I guess we got stronger. Seth Rollins, or Dean Ambrose, I'm sorry, could celebrate in Triple H's face specifically because Dean Ambrose lost his gold, the U.S. Championship, strictly because of Triple H and the Battle Royal that he was forced to compete in. You know, go back to the whole Triple H's Adapt or Perish promos. He's like, we didn't perish, did we? Throw up the belts. And again, once again, the obvious tag team title feud with that going forward is Orton Rollins versus Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. And I'm sorry, all these guys, not necessarily saying they're world championship competitors right now, but all these guys are already cemented as main eventers, so it would do nothing but good things for the tag team championships. Do you not agree? Now, number 5 is the most logical. Number 5 is the obvious one. Number 5 is the one that's most likely to happen at Money in the Bank, and that is the Wyatts. Why does it make sense? They're former NXT Tag Team Champions. They held the Tag Team Championships for a hell of a long time. I don't remember who beat them. I think, in fact, no, it wasn't the Ascension. It was some babyface team that I don't remember. In tag team scenarios, they've pretty much squashed everybody. Not that it's really gotten them a championship, have they? They've destroyed and injured the Usos many, many times on multiple occasions. The Uso brothers versus Wyatt family feud has already been established and is already sort of festering under the Cena versus Bray Wyatt microscope, so it's already there. They've already beaten them. And the Wyatts are absolute wrecking balls. So the ultimate goal, the ultimate plus of this going forward is whoever does, in fact, beat the Usos, be it a team like the Ascension, be it one of the Luchador teams, be it maybe Goldust and Stardust, good lord, is going to look like absolute monster babyfaces taking those belts from the Wyatt family. And a little side note, now that we have all of our at least two matches set for Money in the Bank, would it not be an amazing sight to see the family walk out with gold draped over each and every single one of their shoulders? Wyatt's number one choice of myself to be the new tag team champions, because anybody and everybody could come out and play and try to get a shot, but who realistically is booked to have enough balls to go after the Wyatts for those championships? other than maybe Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose if they choose to focus that way. Anyways, guys, this is just me flexing a little bit of creative muscle. Let me know what you think. Stuff like this, being able to think about stuff like this is what keeps me positive about the WWE. Am I saying any of this is going to happen? Am I that ballsy? Am I that full of myself? Am I one of the Nostradamuses of the YWC? No. What I am saying, look at everything we have currently. All of these things are possible. Live in what's possible if what's real isn't pleasing you just yet. Don't look to peg everything down. Don't go into a show thinking, this show sucks, somebody prove me wrong. Go into it thinking, hey, I wonder how this show's going to be tonight. If it sucks, by all means say it sucks. But if it doesn't suck, come up here every once in a while and admit that it doesn't suck. And admit that, you know, the Tag Team Championship division specifically is kind of a fun place to be right now. These 5, I was able to write in a note on my notepad, on my iPhone, on my way home from work today, on the bus, which took about 20 minutes. If you don't like what you see in front of you, flex your own creative muscle a little bit. I promise you guys will have a lot better time as wrestling fans. Anyways, this is my list. Do you guys have a list? Do you guys have a list of other champions that you would like to see in other divisions? I will be doing more videos along these lines. I may do one on the Divas division. I may do one on the mid-card division somewhere down the line. I don't know. It depends if it strikes me. It depends if I'm already doing something that week or not. Anyways, I've rambled for far long enough. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Who do you think should be the next WWE World Tag Team Champions? Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Put questions in my Q&A. Later, guys.